and reintroduce ourselves to this group. But before I do that, let me take the roll real quick, and then we'll do the reintroductions. Is Keisha Kynard here? All right, I do not believe Keisha is here. I don't believe it's here either. I thought Zatoya's name. Zatoya, aren't you?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. And also, just for some housekeeping, if we start getting any feedback, everybody mute. But kind of a small enough group, I don't think we're getting any bad feedback right now, so this might work all right. Jenny Smith, I see Jenny.
I'm here. I can't see you guys, but that's okay. I can hear.
Okay. And Stephen Dorner, I'm not sure is here. He did say in an email that he would not be able to turn his camera or microphone on during the meeting. I was thinking it might be a chat. And as long as he can hear and communicate via chat, I think that shouldn't be a problem. But I don't actually think he's locked on, so that's kind of a moot issue there. And then last but not least, Madison Terry, the newest member of our group. I see Madison there. Hey, Madison.
Hi.
Let's with not here. He's not here. I'll go for like I said, have lived in Walterboro most of my life. My father and his folks have had deep roots in Walterboro. My mother's people had roots in Colleton County. So I love this community, and I think that was a big reason why I wanted to join. Was I read an article in the Press and Standard that seemed to indicate that if we didn't get this group formed, that we risked losing about $50,000 to the state of South Carolina. And I imagine some others are probably here for that same reason. We'd like to make sure that money raised in this community stays in this community. Zatoya, tell us a little bit about yourself. And you're on mute, just in case you don't know. Is Zatoya still with us? Yep, I see her name, but it's got the mute button, the red mute button. So Zatoya, if you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. Well, let's move on to Jenny Smith, and we'll come back to Zatoya.
Yes, sir. You wanted a little bio?
Yeah, just a quick introduction.
Okay. I own a restaurant on Edisto Beach. Been there at the restaurant for going on 16 years. I live in Colleton County on the island, and I grew up in Walterboro. Went to Walterboro High School.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the group. We're good. I know you were here last meeting as well, but it's good to have you back again.
Henry?
Yeah.
I'm Kathleen Paget's daughter, or Sister Paget's daughter, just to make the connection.
Yeah, now I know who you are.
Yeah.
Did not put two and two together.
The name Smith makes me really anonymous. So
Eric, for sure. Brantley's sister. And I was so sorry to hear about Sarah. That was just heartbreaking. But
thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Cole and Kathleen, probably almost Social Security age, huh?
Yeah.
Now, they were just little children. I remember Kathleen like at age 5, probably last time I saw her, but I'm sure she's older than 5 now.
Yeah. Has a baby.
She has her own 5-year-old now.
Yeah. She has a 1-year-old, but she's in her 30s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how old I've gotten. All right. Zatoya, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what was going on. But anyways, I'm Zatoya Pinkney. I am owner of a Soulful Taste Catering, and I am also a pre-K teacher for Colleton County School District. Teach down in Cartersville. So pretty much that's me in the work zone. I have 3 kids, and we are all natives from here. Me and my husband, born and raised, and so.
Glad to have you on this group. The last one, Madison Terry.
Hey, my name is Madison. I'm excited to be a part of the board. I am a long-term resident of Colleton County and Walterboro. I've been here all my life, and I'm currently the tourism director for the city of Walterboro, and I actually live in Walterboro with my husband. We just got married last year, so that's about all the fun facts for me.
Okay, well, welcome to the group. We're certainly glad to have you.
Thank you.
And I think that's everyone. I don't believe Stephen is on, and if he is, I don't believe he can talk to us. So I think we'll need to go ahead and move ahead. Let me pull up the agenda here. Introduction of new members. We've done that. We're on to number 4, approval of the minutes. Did everyone get a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
And if so, I will entertain a motion to accept minutes as recorded.
Motion to approve minutes as recorded.
Thank you, Madison. Anyone second that motion?
I second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I will open the floor to voting on accepting the minutes as written. All in favor, please indicate by waving or saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? All right, hearing no opposition or abstaining, we will say that the minutes have been approved unanimously. And we can move on to number 5, the new business, the ATAX applications. We have 3 here on the agenda. The first is the Colleton County Museum and Farmers Market Wham Festival. In a nutshell, it's just a request for $20,000. The South Carolina Artisan Center has put in a request for shop handcrafted for $15,000. And the Colleton County Historical Society is looking at some accessibility and tourism things for the Beeden Lucas House and requesting $6,000.
Christy's on for the Wham Festival if anyone has any questions for her.
Okay. Do we have other presenters, or is she our only one?
No, we're doing them one at a time, so there's not a lot of confusion letting them in and back out.
Okay. Well, if there's no objection, we can go ahead with the first presentation and do the Wham Festival first. All right, hearing no objection, let's go ahead with the presentation.
Okay, so I just found out today that I needed to present this. So I have the application in front of me. Matt, of course, wrote the application. He's ultimately in charge of Wham Festival, but I can tell you guys some about it. Wham Festival was an idea brought up before COVID, and it is a partnership between the city and the county. And what it's meant to do is to increase the visibility and accessibility to the arts and culture within our county. So what we're trying to do is find people who are artists, and you know, art is of many different mediums. You've got musicians and performances, and you have people that make sculptures and people that draw and all kinds of things. Art, there's no limit to it. And we just wanted to be able to have a festival to celebrate that and to be able to have some of our locals enter a competition. You know, you see these things in Charleston and Savannah and Columbia and places like that. And so we just wanted something to get going here. The first year they did it was last year, and it was partially virtual because of the COVID restrictions. This year we were able to do it in person, And we had 68 artists involved, and there were artists from all over the state who came to be part of this. We advertised to the South Carolina Arts Commission. Matt Mardell, who's my boss here at the museum, he's actually a maven for the South Carolina Arts Commission for this area of the state. So he was able to use them to promote the event and to be able to pull in some artists. We also had several bands who aren't local any longer, but each one of them that performed had a Colleton County native within the band, which I think is really cool because, hey, they're already to a larger stage now, but let's bring them back home and show people from Colleton County can go places. We gave away so we were able to get a grant through the South Carolina Arts Commission. We paid the performers. We had prize money. One of our the People's Choice Award winner won $500. And he was a 14-year-old silhouette artist who now did the silhouette for us that we painted this past week on the wall in downtown Walterboro. And that mural was paid for also with some money from Wham Festival. So we're just trying to tie it all together and bring it all together. We did bring in, let me see, I think he reported the numbers here. A total of 13 overnight stays that we could record, which isn't a lot to start with, but we did have visitors. We took that information from Walterboro, Greenville, Ruffin Lodge, Denmark, Orangeburg, Newberry, Windsor, Mount Pleasant, Beaufort, St. Helena, Hilton Head, Hardyville, Rock Hill, and Columbia. So we had people from all across the state who came and participated. And there was I think he reported the total sales around $4,500. So it's slow and small to start with, but we think that's what's important is getting it right and not letting it be too big all at one time, because now I kind of think the secret's out the bag. So, we're coaxing people to get involved with some prize money, but that money is provided through the South Carolina Arts Commission. We just would like to be able to advertise a little bit more outside of our area to get more people involved. We'd like to go down to SCAD, the school in Savannah, to get those art students involved. We think that would be a big pull. Also College of Charleston, there's colleges all over the place we'd like to get involved. Other than that, it's just good culture for our county.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
I'd like to point out that it was a spectacular festival. I actually attended this year, and it was below freezing temperatures. I mean, that was so that. Cool. It dropped down into like the 20s. It was super, super cold. That cold snap we had. And yet there were a lot of people out there, watching the band perform there on the stage behind the Wildlife Center and the Interpretive Center. And so it was, considering how cold it was a really impressive crowd. And I think had the weather been warmer, we're
planning on putting it back in May. So hopefully the cold weather won't be an issue next time.
Oh, next year it's going to be way too freaking hot. That's going to be the problem with May. I know that the Rice Festival, there's some years it's 100 degrees out there in April. So you can never win for sure. You never know if it's going to be so super cold or so super hot around here. But I had a great time regardless. And I think, like you said, word of mouth is really going to spread that and make it a bigger thing for our community. And we certainly appreciate you coming today. Unfortunately, we don't have any voting members that are non-recused voting members to sort of have a quorum to vote on this. But we're recording this today, so the members who can vote that were not present today will be able to see your presentation and then make that consideration when we do have enough non-recused voting members in order to make this official.
Right. And if they have any questions, they're more than welcome to call Matt or myself. We'd be more than happy to try to answer them. We also brought in, I don't know, a lot of people don't even know the commercial kitchen here is kind of the hub for food trucks. So we invited any food truck that uses us as their commissary to be involved if they wanted to be. So we were trying to make that an aspect as well, because we keep hearing people want some kind of food truck rodeo here. And so we keep trying it in different ways. And it helps them get their name out there too.
Yeah. And certainly maybe working with Rice Festival people I'm sure they have some contacts as well. That might be a good group to partner with. All right. Any other questions or comments or anything for our presenter? All right. Hearing none. Thank you.
Oh, it's me, Toy. Thank me. I just wanted to say that I thought that, for Christy, presentation was awesome. Wham Festival was definitely, I thought, was a great, festival. I know that with the weather and all that, but just to even be out there and see the amount of artists they had, and just from this being the first one after, post-COVID, I would say, and not being virtual, it was really unreal how many artists, displayed their work. And for the young ones, I have young kids, and we're out there to see locals and see the art and be a part of that. I just thought that was great for our community. So I'm definitely all for this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I also just want to throw in there, I went to the elementary school art exhibition just like last weekend, and I was blown away by the quality of drawings and paintings and sketches that the young kids, 5th grade and under, are producing. There is really some amazing art going on in this community, and
I think, Henry, Madison, I don't know if you can hear me, but I think Madison and I have been on in some conversations that their art extravaganza will be part of Wham Festival next year.
Oh, so, wonderful.
Right. We're trying to partner with the schools to have that as a Wham event. So then we'll be able to spread some love and give some money to the schools too, to help them for art supplies that they can't get through their own budget.
Sounds awesome.
At museum 2 weekends ago, and I can't really say that I was more blown away by these SCAD artists than I was these elementary kids from Colleton. I mean, it really was that amazing. Some of the work there was just, I'm not exactly a qualified art critic, but I feel like I know good art when I see it, and there's some really powerful stuff in there. So I really look forward to the future for our community for sure. Excited. Any other questions or comments or suggestions or anything like that? All right, hearing none, I just want to say thank you again, Christy, for joining us and presenting today, and hopefully we'll be able to get back with you before too long with some hopefully good news, but we'll see.
All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
All right, Kayla, who do we have next?
The Artisan Center, I'm not sure who's representing them. IT's letting them in now.
Okay. Oh, I know that guy. Hi, David. I'm actually next door to you right now.
Oh, okay. How are you?
Oh, that's you out the window.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a voting quorum today to be able to go forward with it, but we do have enough members to hold the meeting, and so anything you can tell us, and we're also recording this, so the members that are not available will be able to watch this video, and if they have questions, we're also going to get them to. We'll get those questions to you prior to us actually getting to the voting meeting. But I guess without any further ado, I'll turn it over to you and let you do your presentation. Shop handcraft
I thank you for allowing me to make a presentation. This is on behalf of the South Carolina Artisan Center, and this grant application is in reference to marketing. And so the premise is to increase advertising through social media. So it would be through Facebook ads and all gamut of the social media. And we are working with an agency to help craft that and put those out in the right area. We're targeting 6 markets that we're looking at, and they are all maybe a little bit beyond they're all past 50 miles, but they may not all be day trippers. But we thought that there are markets that would kind of fit, that those people would be interested in the type of art and the variety of art that we have here, because there's kind of they have good art communities and vibrant art communities. And those markets are Greenville, Florence, Bluffton, Savannah, and Asheville. And we would be targeting through all types of like Google Analytics and all the other tools that are available to kind of reach those markets, but also anyone that's looking to travel or searching for information about art galleries or art in South Carolina and all those tags. We all also are, so the total grant is about $30,000. We're asking for $15,000 from you guys. And this would be a 6-month period, kind of starting July 1, which would be our next fiscal year, into December. And the estimates that I put into applications in reference to impressions, and these are estimates because this is a new campaign, but we would be able to give you all reports of what from this agency that would be generating all the reports each month. And then we could be showing you that in reference to when we have any reporting that we would need to turn in. I think that's a broad highlight. I don't know. I will be glad to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Does anyone have questions? I can't think of any questions, but again, the South Carolina Artisan Center has always been a great feather in the cap of our community. Being the state's official folk art, for the entire state of South Carolina, you would think it would be in Charleston or Columbia or Greenville. So the fact that little Walterboro has that is such a great thing for us here.
Well, I'm really excited about being here.
All right. Well, if there are no questions or comments from the people assembled today, we'll let the others watch this video. And if they have questions, we'll be sure to get those to you. Okay. We plan to meet again when we will have a voting quorum because of recusals today, we weren't able to actually have enough voting members for the proposals, but we will certainly hope to have that at our next meeting in May, and we hope to let you know as soon as we can.
Okay, I appreciate it. If they have any questions, I'll be glad to get those answers to you. So
okay, well, thank you for your time. We appreciate you showing up today and giving us some insight into the shop handcrafted movement there.
All right, thanks. All right.
All right, thanks, Dave. All
okay,
right,
next,
Kayla,
next we're going to have Lucas. Sarah. Yep. Looks like she's logging on now.
Wonderful. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, how are
Welcome
you?
to the ATAX Advisory Board. We're glad to have you today, and we'd like to learn more about what the Historical Preservation Society is looking to do for the accessibility and tourism at the Bede and Lucas House.
Okay. So little background on why we're applying and what we're applying for. The Bede and Lucas House, in case somebody doesn't know, is 200 years old, actually 202 years old, 1820. It is one of 5 high houses in Colleton County, so it's pretty rare. But a high house sits high. It's about 5 feet off the ground, and it's one story. So we've been using the Bede and Lucas House for several things. We give tours. We have events there. We have our historical society meetings there, and we use it to tell the story of Colleton County. I oftentimes refer to it as Walterboro's house because it can really tell the story of what was happening, in the city, in the county, in the state, and even nationally. And the artifacts that we have inside, we can tell those stories. We've recently been questioned about our ADA accessibility. And frankly, we just didn't know. We had always believed that we had been grandfathered in, and that's something that had been passed down, through the board for quite a while. Finds out there is no such thing as being grandfathered in. So what we started to do is to look into what the situation was, and we've talked to SHPO, which is the State Historic Preservation Office. And they have a couple of ways that we can go. And one is doing a questionnaire to say what it would take to make the house ADA compliant. And I do want to just stop here and say that is our ultimate intention, to make it ADA compliant. Frankly, we have no money. So we've currently closed the house. Because for events such as parties and wedding receptions and showers and things like that. But that is one of our forms of revenue, but we didn't want to be out of compliance. So we've talked to Scott Cook Designs, and he is going to do the checklist for us for the SHPO office. And what we're hoping to happen is that they would give us permission to have the house open as we work through what we need to do to become compliant. The biggest thing is getting into the house. As I mentioned, it's 5 feet off the ground. And ADA compliance is 1 foot
Per inch.
ramp for every 1 inch of elevation, which makes it a 60-foot ramp. And then every 10 feet, you need to have a landing. I'm not sure where that would go. So actually, I talked to Scott Cook yesterday, and he said he'd sort of, suggested maybe looking into an elevator or a lift or something like that. That's on down the road as we were trying to figure out what we want to do. There's a couple of other things we can do in the meantime to be compliant, which the board had actually started talking about at the beginning of COVID. And that is to put some interpretive signs outside, which I also think is a great idea because the Historical Society, we're an all-volunteer board, and we have 1 part-time administrative assistant. So unless you catch somebody at the house, you can't go in. So we want to be able to share that with people who came by on times that we're not there. Actually, about 3 weeks ago, I was just driving past the house and I saw some guy on the lawn, and I stopped and asked if I could help him. He was from Florida. And he wanted to stop and see the Bede and Lucas house. So, I let him in and gave him a little tour. So we do have a lot of people that are going past the house and are interested in the house. And we just want to make that more accessible as far as ADA is concerned, and just sharing all of that with the public. We think it's a beautiful house. We think it's an important house. And that's where I'm coming from, asking for this money so that we can start investigating what we need to do to share this house more than we already are.
Okay. Is it all right if we open up now for any questions or comments?
Please.
Okay. Does anyone have questions or comments? All right. Well, I certainly agree with you. The Bede and Lucas home has been a real gem to our community.
Absolutely.
I don't know. We might. I know that up at Limestone, we had to get some of our old buildings ADA compliant, and they had to do like a zigzag ramp that almost went 4 ways because of the landings, and so that like you'd go up a ramp landing, then come over a little, go up a little more, another landing, then come up a little more and a landing, and so it kind of made a smaller footprint by squeezing that into like a 4-way, almost like a square. Felt like you were at Disney or something going around.
That's exactly what I said to somebody yesterday. I was like, I feel like if we try to do this, we're going to get on a roller coaster.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see where y'all are definitely in need of making that accessible so that we can sort of reopen that to the community once more.
Absolutely.
Another idea I was having was just what if a dump truck accidentally dropped a bunch of dirt and gravel in the backyard and that somehow the was now almost level with the back of the home. It'd be a tragedy if that happened, I suppose.
Oh, yes.
Now that might actually cost
well, true.
price of that might even be more expensive.
Well, with the price of wood now.
That's true. It's pick your poison at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anyone have questions or comments or anything to add? All right. Today we don't have a quorum of voting members, so we're not going to be able to take any action on it today. But we are recording this meeting so that the members who can vote that aren't available today can watch it, and then if they have any questions or comments, and we can forward those to you.
Perfect.
Hopefully during our next meeting, we'll have a quorum of voting eligible members and be able to let you know something as soon as we can.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Well,
I appreciate you looking at the application and hearing my little spiel.
We appreciate you taking the time to put a proposal together and come to this group and make the presentation. We really do appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We can't really take any action on those today, but at least we've got it recorded and this will help us moving forward. Number 6 on our agenda, the old business, the Accommodation Tax Advisory Board meeting schedule. I spoke with Kayla about this earlier today, and it looks like if we get the third Thursday at 3:30 in May, if we're all able to get together for that, that will still give us time to take action prior to County Council's final meeting, because we really need to have this in front of County Council for their approval again before so that we can use this money before we lose this money. So hopefully that will happen. If for whatever reason we can't get a quorum, I might be trying to call some emergency meetings every day between then and County Council meetings. So try to keep your calendar as free as possible on that day, third Thursday of May. Does anybody know what actual day that is? I would look on my phone, but I'm afraid I'd hang up on everyone.
The 19th.
May 19th. So try to make
council meeting is June 7th for June. So I have to have everything the week prior to give to council, because we get the packet out the week before the meeting.
10 days max after May 19th. So if we can't get it done May 19th, we've got to, keep trying until we can get a voting quorum together. All right. Any questions or comments on old business? All right. We have a number 8 informal meeting of the whole. Is that something that has to come before the adjournment or no?
No, that just means that there could be conversation after adjournment. That's all.
Okay. Well, at this point, I am willing to, well, I guess I should, it's not on the agenda, but sort of open it up if anyone has anything they need to add for this group, for the good of the order, sort of, so to speak.
I will say that I think I'm going to have to do a little research, and Madison may be able to have some insight because I know she has a lot of experience with this. But 2 of these projects are not specific dates. And I think the Artisan Center one, like a specific event, I think the Artisan Center one may meet it, even though it's a 6-month period. I'm not sure. But I have concerns about the Historical Society because I don't know. It's not an event specifically that's bringing tourism. And that's kind of what I understand. And that's why I'm hesitant, and I'm not sure about the Artisan Center's request either, because it's not a specific event. It's just, I'm not sure. Guess I'm going to have to do some research and see what qualifies and what doesn't.
Okay. We appreciate
if you don't mind me saying real quick, the Artisan Center should be fine per the state rules and guidelines. It does not have to be a specific dated event. It can be a like campaign or project as a whole. So he shouldn't have to give a date for that. Now, as far as the Historical Society goes, I could see, if you twisted it would sort of benefit those who would visit it, but I don't know in the short term how upfront, for those costs, if that would technically be in the rules and guidelines or not. So that'd probably be something we need to double check before we vote on anything.
Yeah, I can certainly see where if you're not open because you're not ADA compliant, that impacts your ability to give tourists the ability to see the museum. So I could see where it might, but I appreciate y'all looking further into that for sure.
Yeah, we just want to stay compliant, but of course we don't want to give any money back. So if we can stay compliant, then of course that's great. So I'll get with our finance director too.
And I should remember this from our last meeting, but the amount that we have to spend before July 1st is what again?
The 40,000 and some odd dollars.
And we have to, if we were to need, say, I don't know, what would that be? 41,000. We could definitely cover that.
We have 54 and a little. I think it's like 50, almost 59 that are almost 55 that we have, but the deal with the 14,000, because I know this was discussed before, the 14,000 that we were kind of limping along or carrying over that didn't have to be spent, our finance director was going to ask for us to try to roll it over. So that wasn't even a definite. So we do have a lingering application that should be coming in that may finish up the rest of the funds. If we can grant it to every person who's applied, we should be able to kind of use most of them.
Okay. Well, that's great news. That was going to be my next question was, has the application deadline passed yet? So I'm glad we've got time to maybe squeeze one more in there.
Yeah, since this is our first year back doing this, I'm not necessarily having a cutoff. As long as they get it in, then we'll be able to, before the next meeting, we can review it.
We'll kind of make it first come, first serve this time around for sure. All right. Any other things that need to be brought up before we adjourn? All right. If not, I've got 4:11 p.m. I appreciate everyone's time. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, I guess we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All right, well, if all are in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
Aye.
All right, hearing no opposition, I guess I'll see everybody May 19th.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Coming out.